Hey guys, this is Dan from Nutriforce, and I'm going to be showing you today, because a lot of people have been asking, and especially people just getting started with making their smoothies, and their complaint is, especially if they're making smoothies, like vegetable smoothies, and they're trying to make something super healthy, their big complaint is, my smoothie tastes like crap, okay? And this is because of two different factors. And I'm going to show you now how I'm going to make my kale, banana and strawberry super smoothie, and I'm going to show you what ingredients I use. It's not going to taste as delicious as a chocolate strawberry smoothie, and that's it. I'm going to make a superfood smoothie, but I'm going to show you how to do it and so that it doesn't taste like crap. So I'm going to rotate the phone around. I'm going to be doing this with one hand as I shoot this, so you're going to have to bear with me as we go through. So let me turn this around here, and hopefully you can see all this as I get started. If it moves around a lot, you're just going to have to bear with it. All right, so using the Vitamix blender, I'm going to put these kale sprouts. I'm going to use a handful. That's it. I'm not stuffing this. I am not stuffing my blender to the absolute top full of veggies and stuff like that. I mean, it's not going to taste good. All right, so I have banana. And I'm going to put a whole one in there today because I'm hungry. So it's a whole banana. I'm going to use about a handful of strawberries. Look at me mixing this up with like precision. See how precision recipe? No, you don't have to do that. All right, so I've got this in there. And I've got some coconut beverage, which is basically coconut milk. All right, and some people, will, when they do this, they'll pour, you know, like that much. Okay, so you've got mostly vegetables, or mostly fruit and vegetables or whatever, and then you've got this little bit of liquid. And what you're going to have is more thickness than you are liquid, which makes it very hard to get something down. So what I've put in there, handful of kale, basically a handful of strawberries, call it half a cup, and a whole banana. And now, hold on here, I'm going to get some alkaline water. Just basically some filtered water, and I'm going to move. Look how much I've got here to the ratio now. So maybe you're looking at about a 50-50 ratio. All right, so let me make sure you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to add now, let me show you a trick that I do sometimes. So let's get started. Before I add any of the protein powder to my smoothie, and some people don't use protein powder, the protein powder tends to whip and cause a thickness and maybe even foaming and stuff like that. And that thickness will cause your smoothie to have kind of a, I don't know, just an unusual taste to it. So let me go ahead and get this started. It's going to be a little noisy for a couple seconds. I'm going to need the plunger for this one because of the strawberries. Okay, even with this mixture I got here, you can hear it, the consistency is coming out right now. It's really still thick. I can tell that. Probably would be pretty tasty at this thickness. But now I'm going to add my protein powder. And so the protein powder, this particular one, all vegetable based, what you might call a vegan protein powder. That's going to end up thickening it up. All right, so I either need to add some more coconut milk to it, which is, it's not super high calorie, so don't freak out if you use that. This is going to be, to me, I don't like super thick smoothies where you can't get them down. They seem to always taste better when they're more liquid. I like my peanut butter. You can use, so a lot of times also I'll use flaxseed oil in this. Also, you can add some superfoods to this by putting some greens in it, like barley green, barley grass, superfood, spirulina. All right, so protein powder's in. And also, I like to add, oh, I almost forgot. I like to put some cinnamon in there. Helps to regulate the blood sugar. So your two main factors, remember, why your smoothies turn out not tasting that good. One, they're too thick. Two, there's no sweetness to it because you've got mainly vegetables, and it's going to end up tasting like vegetables, you know, kind of mixed together. Certain ones going to taste kind of like dirt. So you need your berries in there for sweetness. You can add stuff like stevia. We'll sweeten it up some. So let's go ahead and kick this in. Okay, so our three factors now. I'm going to add one more to it. First one, of course, is the person you're making your smoothie. You're not putting enough liquid in there, and you've got too much vegetables and a mixture of stuff that just ain't going to taste good together. The second, so you want to have plenty of liquid so it's thin enough to drink, and it really does help it taste better. Secondary factor in this is making sure it's sweet enough, you know, with your fruits and berries and things like that. So you just don't want it just vegetables. You need something to sweeten it up. You can use stevia. You also can use agave nectar, but remember that's, you know, it's pretty high in sugar, even though it does break down a little slower than like sucrose and stuff. But you can use a little squirt of that. And then the third part is usually that when you're making your smoothie, they don't let the blender run long enough to really micronize it. So you want to let it run for at least 30 or 40 seconds to grind everything up. Okay, so this is my super smoothie. We'll take the lid off, and let's find a cup to put this in. Drop some stuff on the floor, and so you can see I see the consistency here. This one's pretty smooth. Not too thick, you know, when it's pouring out and it doesn't come out. Let's see what it tastes like. I would say that would rank up about 70 or 80% in taste. It's actually pretty good. That's got a good aftertaste, no chemical taste or anything like that. So for a super smoothie, for health, having all those things in there, I'd rank that particular one with the kale and all that, I'd rank that at about 80%. It's not going to be as delicious as just a strawberry, banana, and maybe chocolate protein powder, but I'm looking at putting superfoods in my body today. So the kale and mixing all that up in there is going to give it a slightly more vegetable taste. But overall, that's a pretty daggone good smoothie. So remember these three steps so that you don't end up with dirt smoothies anymore. Make sure you have enough liquid in it. Make sure you have enough fruits, bananas, or something like that in there to sweeten it up. Don't overstuff your blender with vegetables trying to get too much stuff in there thinking, oh, I got to get more nutrition, more nutrition. If you want to maximize the amount of nutrition and things you're getting in there, instead of over cramming with vegetables too much, add something like barley grass or spirulina or some kind of superfood to your smoothie, so that way you can get that maximized nutrition in it without crushing the taste. So plenty of liquid, have your berries and something up there, make sure it's smooth, so it's not, you also don't want to make sure it's too thick. I will also blend all of my vegetables and my berries and stuff first before adding the protein powder in there, because the protein powder tends to whip up, kind of like you'd whip eggs or something like that. So I'll blend it, and then I'll add that to it, and then I'll run it for a few seconds more sometimes. All right. So, you know, remember to run your blender as a final step. Run your blender 30, 40 seconds, at least long enough to micronize everything. Because if you're not doing that, what you're ending up with partially chopped up stuff, and it just doesn't seem to taste as good. All right, these are my tips today for making smoothies. I've been doing them for over 20 years now, and so I know what tastes good and what doesn't, and so you don't end up with a smoothie that tastes like crap or a dirt smoothie. These are the steps to take. Give it a try. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you later.